going to give more and more responsibility in these hard economic times to help us guide this city through it. So with your great work, we hope that will be accomplished.
Thank you. I
Thank
look
you.
forward to working with everybody.
Okay. All in favor of the appointment, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes do have it. Mr. Schwartz. Jay Schwartz, Chairman of the Great Economic Development
And
Board.
I think the board is here, and they were
Well,
able
Jay's
to meet
gonna go
Terry.
ahead and-
They were able to meet Terry, and
Jay's going to go ahead and announce.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I was going to have my members come on up, please. Vice Chair members, please come up. Of course, our new member, Terry, please come up. Okay.
Hello,
Mr.
everyone.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioner, City Manager, City Attorney, the businesses and residents of our city. I am Jay Schwartz, Chair of the City's Economic Development Board, and it is my distinct honor to present you our annual report. We're pleased to make this presentation tonight because we had a successful year. The board went through transition with new members during 2009, but those changes have been a benefit to the board as new members bring new ideas and diversity to the table. Furthermore, the board has changed the focus of each meeting in order to accomplish our mission and goals. We held 11 meetings, and our board members attended multiple workshops and meetings pertaining to economic development. There we go. Tonight, I will be presenting the annual report for the Economic Development Board. We thought it would be important to highlight some of our activities over the past year. During our brief presentation, I'd like to introduce the Economic Development Board, discuss our general business, key motions from the past year, as well as future topics that will be discussed by the EDB. With me this evening is Vice Chair Ingrid Lawrence, Member Barbara Lee, Member Barbara Stanley, Member Miguel Neves, our newly appointed Terry Nagel, welcome aboard. We have also our alternate author, Capella. Also, I'd like to go ahead and let you know that member Herb Vargas, Lou Manfra, Carmen Davila, and alternate Gordon Whitehead were unable to make it this evening. During our meetings, we added agenda items where the staff liaison, Mike Stam, and district and chamber, that's Chamber of Commerce representatives, were able to introduce topics for discussion. During the liaison report, staff would inform the board of new businesses that have come to the city, as well as those that have left, and future projects that are going through the planning process. The district reports provide a venue for members to discuss topics from their district commissioner or membership affiliation. The EDB discussed numerous topics as a part of our regular business, including Eastern redevelopment, bond spending options, the census, the Broward Alliance, CAM, consolidation of efforts with the Chamber of Commerce to minimize taxpayer dollar exposure and to avoid duplication of efforts, and the administration's recommendations regarding boards and committees. The EDB tried to raise awareness of the current climate amongst membership by inviting guest speakers to the meeting, and I'd like to thank those guests that had attended, including Jim Ryan, who you just heard from, Chairman of the Board of Adjustment, Dan Rivas from HDR Properties, Jessica Roberts, Asset Alliance Group Corp., and Stella Tokar, CEO, Miramar Pembroke Pines Chamber of Commerce. We held our annual Small Business Expo at Pembroke Lakes Mall earlier this month during the Mother's Day weekend. Turnout was heavy as usual, and the participating businesses generated numerous leads. This year's event was a little bit different. It was smaller, with only 17 booths located at the center court, but the vendors felt the event was more successful because the vendor had a good booth location and also adjacent to the food court. The EDB passed two important motions that we'd like to highlight as a part of our annual report. The first one being the loan program, to recommend that the City Commission establish a loan grant program to facilitate improvements of commercial properties in Pembroke Pines and to direct staff to establish a pilot program for the same. Number two with respect to boards and committees. The Economic Development Board has established a clear mission statement, goals, and objectives, and have been working diligently to achieve those items. It would be a clear hardship if the board were depleted in any fashion. Impact to residents and businesses would be clearly affected. We ask that the City Commission disregard administration's recommendations, including but not limited to the number of board members, and to keep our current ordinance in place. The EDB intends to focus the next year to topics directly affecting businesses such as eastern redevelopment, permitting, taxes, and economic development citywide. In addition, the board is eager to meet with the City Commission and other advisory boards to discuss eastern redevelopment. The board will plan to review the permitting issues that currently affect businesses and ways to improve services. Finally, the board will address how property taxes and fees are affecting our business. EDB board member Herb Vargas created a spreadsheet that compared the taxes of random commercial properties within our city boundaries compared to those that are outside the city. I have directed our staff liaison to have member Vargas compile a more comprehensive list of businesses by district, and we're going to have this, it's my intent to have this on the next agenda item on June 17th. We've recognized that there's also the need to meet in July to address the city's needs. We have a board that's comprised of a wonderful group of knowledgeable, successful people, and for this, we wish to thank the mayor and commission for appointing such qualified and an eager group. The Economic Development Board is excited about our upcoming year. We look forward to working with the mayor and commission, planning, division staff, as well as boards to address economic development needs. We encourage residents and businesses to join our efforts on the third Thursday of every month at the Southwest Focal Point Center at 6:30. We wish to thank the mayor, commission, city manager for their continued interest and support, and would entertain questions from you or the public at this time.
Mr. Schwartz, thank you for that great comprehensive report. Thank you all for the service that you render to our city. West Fork Plaza, as an example. A great business, a good business place for us to be, Commissioner Seipel and others, closed quickly. It was the coffee scene.
Coffee scene. That was a killer when that closed.
Coffee scene closed, just like overnight. And Luana and George, I'm so sorry. What a great place.
Yeah.
But as you go through that shopping center, Rigo's doing very good. Some are doing good, but others are not doing good. So we're going to ask your help in those shopping centers that are having problems. I know the property managers are really bending over backwards to try to keep their sustainability and help with rents and CAMs and all those things. But we're going to need your help and your expertise to help us through these hard times. Better times are coming. I'm confident of it. Please, God, let better times come. But so we're going to ask you for your help. Thank you for the great job you do. Please keep up the good work.
Before they go, I actually have an item on tonight, item 21, which is what we had talked about in consensus,
Right.
but I wanted it on here so we could have it actually as an item to go forward. Just what we're talking
That's
about
right.
with the economic, to work with the different groups. So hopefully that will pass this evening when it comes up. But if you all read it or hang around or whatever, but it's an item that's on. So.
Yeah,
Sure,
I'm sorry, Commissioner. I was just going to address the mayor. I spoke with Mike Stammen over the last few days. We spoke about West Fork specifically last fall, and this board has looked at, for example, Dan Rivas came to our meeting. We spoke specifically about CAM, Common Area Maintenance, how it affects the businesses. I have spoken to business owners whose CAM is now higher than their rent. It is my intention to put on the agenda item, and they're hearing this for the first time, to go ahead and discuss about inviting property managers, business owners, citywide. And I'm asking tonight for some direction so that we don't have to have a double meeting to find out what the commission thinks. but provide us some direction this evening, and perhaps you can address it in item number 21, how you wish staff to approach, whether we go sample size of property owners, management companies within the city, or do we reach out to the entire community and see what we can get in the form of a workshop to go ahead and address some of these needs? Because the businesses are hurting out there, you know, and they're hurting from the eastern side of the city to the west. And it's our goal to work hard to provide you as much guidance as possible so you can make the best decision for us.
We've had a town hall meeting regarding those kinds of things. We had a poor attendance. Really, you were there. We had a poor attendance at that, but we need to get a good attendance. Commissioner Castillo?
Yeah, it's true. We have tried on occasion to get our hands around this issue, and it's very difficult because the business owners are loath to come out here because they're too busy running their stores. And I don't know if it's a question of the times or the days that we have that we schedule the meetings, but the attendance is always poor. If you want to find out what a business owner thinks, you got to go to them. And one of the things that I will forever respect Stella Tokar for is, for a while there, and I still think she's doing it, she was taking the chamber to the people. She was going out there, door to door to businesses and talking to them.
I think she started that back up again.
And I think that is exactly what we need to do. And what we need to do is take an inventory of why aren't you doing better? We had to abbreviate our economic presentation today during when the finance people were here. But consumer spending is actually in a pretty good shape during this recession. Consumer spending is in good shape. When I go, and I won't tell you the name of the business, but there's a business in West Fork that I go to from time to time. And they rent approximately 1,200 square feet there. And I asked the owner, what are you paying here a month? And the owner said, the owner of the business, what do you pay here in rent? The owner said, $8,000. There's a restaurant not far from here that the mayor sometimes goes to. He's paying $17,000 in rent.
A month?
A month. Now that's just, it's impossible. If you're paying that kind of rent, no matter how good your business is, no matter how, and I'm in that West Fork a lot, and coffee scene was hopping. They had all this stuff on the side, and they had these little combos that were playing and all that.
The wine place went out. Several places have gone out.
If they're going to pay that kind of rent, now I don't know whether it's that the owners have to extract that in order to pay their bills. I don't know if it's that's just what they think they want. But what they're going to end up with is a whole bunch of nothing if they don't start coming up with some ways to fill these stores up. Maybe they need to explore net leases. I don't know. I'm not in the shopping center business. But somebody's going to have to figure out a way to get this thing done, because there's some of these stores, it's almost like there's more vacant ones than occupied ones, and that shouldn't exist in a community like ours. We are still a forward income and real estate area. We remain that now. In terms of the value of our homes, and forget about everything that's going on. Just look at average income. This is still a forward real estate area. We shouldn't have these shopping centers. So I think signage is part of it. If it can bring more people in, and maybe we need to do something temporary and figure that thing out. There could be some redevelopment needs of those particular communities. I think that the landlords are going to have to give in some, because it's better to bring in some rent than none. And this CAM business, maybe that's out of control. That area maintenance stuff isn't so difficult. I think those shopping centers, you get a couple of kids to pick up garbage. I really don't understand why they're spending all that money.
Well, Commissioner, you're going to be. I think you're going to be. Once we get through our process in June and come back to the commission, and it's going to be very on point, because you're going to be discussing fire assessment and what that
Well-
does to the commercial,
Well-
and how much of the percentage is actually CAM and not trash pickup, part of the fire assessment versus trash pickup. What's interesting, though, is you have West Fork and you have Pembroke Gardens.